This is Algebra 1, spring test number 9 study guide. We got through lesson 7.3, where we're solving systems of equations using the combination or elimination method. First one starts off says Tom has a collection of 24 CDs and Nita has a collection of 12 CDs. Tom is adding, and there was a blank, and we added in the number 1 right there. Tom is adding 1 CD a month to his collection, while Nita is adding 5 CDs a month to her collection. Write and graph a system to find the number of months after which they will have the same amount of CDs. Let X represent the number of months and Y the number of CDs. So we need to write a system, which means we're writing two equations. The first one is going to talk about Y represents the number of months, or Y represents, excuse me, the number of CDs. Number of CDs. So Y equals, this is going to be Tom's situation right here, or Tom's equation. Y equals, Tom has 24. So 24 plus, how many does it say he's adding per month? 1. So 1 times X is the amount of months. So 1 times X. Nita, on the other hand, her amount of CDs, her Y, is going to be equal to, she has 12 to start. She's adding 5 per month. So plus, instead of 1 times X, 5 times X. So we have two equations right now. Y is representing the number of CDs. X is representing the number of months. Tom's on top. Nita's is the second one. So we have it set up nice and neat for substitution. It doesn't tell you which method to use, but remember, substitution is the method we use when we have a variable isolated. We have two equations where Y is isolated. This is the value of CDs that Tom has, 24 plus 1 times the amount of months. So in place of Y, we can sub that value in, or that expression in. 24, not 22, 24 plus 1x is equal to what it says right here. Nita's 12 plus 5x. So we have a simple equation with variables on both sides. Bring your smaller 1x over. We want to collect them. Your smaller 1x needs to go here. It's positive or plus x, so you subtract it on both sides. When you subtract it on the left, you do same on the right. 5x minus 1x is 4x. That's equal to, if we brought our x's to the right, we could bring our constants to the left. That's positive 12. We do likewise. Subtract 12. When you do it there, do it here. 24 minus 12 is 12. So now we got another simple equation that says 4x is equal to 12. In order to get x by itself right here, we want to divide by 4. And when you do it to the right, do it to the left. And we get x is 3. So we know our x value is 3. The question asks, find the number of months after which they'll have the same amount of CDs. X represents the number of months, and we have 3. So the question is answered in 3 months. They'll have the same amount of CDs. Now, if you went further than that, the question didn't tell you to, but if you went further than that, you could find out how many CDs they'll both have in 3 months by plugging 3 back in. Tom's is probably easier because you only have to multiply it times 1. 3 times 1 is 3, and 24 plus 3, you would have gotten 27 CDs. In 3 months, both people will have 27 CDs. But 3 months answers the question that was asked. The length of a rectangle is 2 centimeters more than 4 times the width. If the perimeter is 74 centimeters, what are its dimensions? First off, do this to where you can see what's going on. It's a rectangle. You don't have to be perfect, but you don't have to remember the formula for rectangle or the perimeter of a rectangle if you draw it, because you can see what's going on. You know perimeter is all the way around. You also know that this right here is the same as this right here. So call one of them length and the one on the other side the same. This right here, width, is the same as this one. That's what rectangles means. It means they have right angles, which means they have equidistant sides, or the sides are the same amount. So we have 2 widths and 2 lengths. Perimeter is the distance all the way around. Perimeter is 2 times the width plus 2 times the length. The rest of the scenario tells us that the length of a rectangle, all this right here, the length is 2 more than 4 times the width. You need to be able to write an equation based on that sentence right there. Length is equal 2 more than plus 4 times the width. 4 times the width. There is an equation. Length equals 2 plus 4w. The second part says the perimeter is 74. P is 74. Remember, anytime you see that word is, mathematically that means equals. So we have 3 equations. I got one in red, one in purple, one in blue up here right now. We can find out everything we know mathematically based on the 3 equations we've written. This is the equation we're going to use. P equals 2w plus 2l. In place of what we know, we're going to plug it in. In place of P, we know we can sub in, we can use a substitution method and put right there in place of P 74. We don't know what W is. W is an unknown. So we have 74 is equal to 2 times W. We don't know what that is. Plus 2 times, we have an expression for length right here. 2 plus 4W. So in place of length, we can sub in 2 plus 4W. Now take a look at the equation I have written at the bottom here. We went from having 3 different variables, PW and L, to now we only have one variable, W. There's 2 of them, but there's only one variable, W. So we can simplify this. 2 distributes to both of these, times 2 is positive 4, and times 4W is positive 8W. The rest of the equation says 74 equals 2W plus that. Combine your like terms now, 2W and 8W gives you 10W. So 10W plus 4 is equal to 74. Now it's a simple equation. Undo plus 4 by subtracting it on both sides. When you do it here, you get 70 equals 10W. So get W by itself now by dividing by 10 on both sides. W is 7. The width then is 7. So right here, you know that one's 7 centimeters. That's not good enough though. Remember, with systems, you need to find the other variable as well. Going back to using W equals 7, going back to what we wrote originally, length equals 2 plus 4 times W. We could take that 7 and put it right there in place of W. 2 plus 4 times 7 is equal to the length. 4 times 7 is 28 plus 2. The length then is equal to 30 centimeters. So your dimensions of your rectangle, the 2 lengths are 30 centimeters. The widths are 7 centimeters. And if you add all of that back up, you come back to the perimeter, 74 centimeters. Number 3 says solve this one by substitution. This one's easier than some people are trying to make it out to be. If you prefer the elimination method over the substitution method, I'm not going to be able to tell if you did that version or not. So if you prefer one of them over the other, use it. It will be longer sometimes if you pick the one that's not the ideal or the optimal one. In this case, it's set up nice and neat and perfect for the substitution method. So we know this expression. Again, when you're using substitution, it helps sometimes to write them next to each other instead of stacking them like we do for the combination or elimination method. So y's value is 2x plus 6. So in place of y, we can say 2x plus 6 equals 4x plus 2. Simple equation with variables on both sides. Bring your smaller 2x over to your larger 4x side by subtracting it. And you do it there, do it here. 4x minus 2x is 2x. You still have plus 2. You still have equals 6. Bring your 2 over to the other side by subtracting it. When you do it to one side, you do it to the other side. 2x is 4. Then get x by itself by dividing by 2. When you do it to one side, you do it to the others. X is 2 then. So your variable x is equal to 2. That's not enough, though. That's not solved out. In order to find out where they're going to intersect when you graph them, you need to take 2 and you need to bring it back in place of x. Y equals 2 times 2 plus 6. 2 times 2, y is 4 plus 6. Y's value is 10. Again, if you go this far and you don't finish, shame on you. A system solved out is x comma y as an ordered pair, x comma y 2, 10. That is the solution to the system, 2, 10. Number 4, same thing. We'll do this one a little bit quicker. You can plug this one in place of that one. So 2x minus 3, or sub it in, equals 3x minus 7. Bring your smaller 2x from the left to the right. By subtracting it, you get 1x on that side. Bring negative 7 to the other side by adding it. Negative 3 plus 7 is positive 4. So x then is equal to 4. So we can go a little quicker with that one. Take x equals 4, sub that back in to the first equation. Y equals 2 times the new value of x4 minus 3. Y is 8 minus 3. Y then is equal to 5. You should be able to do those about that quick. X comma y, remember that's how you represent the solution to a system. X is 4, 5 is y. 4, 5. That is the solution to number 4. Number 5, the sum of two numbers is 88. Their difference is 24. Write a system that describes the situation and solve by elimination. You have to understand the sum of two numbers. That means to add them up. Remember, when you don't know things, you represent them with variables. They are different numbers, so you represent one of them with x, the other one with y. Sum means to add them up. X plus y is 88. Their difference is 24. You have to know that difference means to subtract the same two numbers. X minus y is 24. We have two equations right now. Remember, when you're using the elimination method or combination method, you have to check to see if they're stacked correctly. X's are on top of X's, Y's are on top of Y's, constants on top of constants, and you have opposite coefficients. We have them stacked, and we have opposite coefficients, negative y and positive y. When we combine these here, x and x, we get 2x. When we combine these here, negative y and positive y, we get no more y's. And when we combine 88 and 24, we get 112. So 2x equals 112. Divide by 2 to get x by itself. X then is equal to 56. So x is 56. That's one of the numbers. The other number, you need to find it out by plugging in 56 into one of your original equations. Right there, 56 plus y equals 88. Subtract 56 on both sides. Y then is equal to 32. The sum of two numbers is 88. 56 plus 32, that does give you 88. Their difference is 24. 56 minus 32, that does give you 24. If you write this as an ordered pair, x comma y, it will say 56, 32. Number 6, Sharon has some $1 bills and some $5 bills. She has 14 bills. The value of the bills is $30. Solve a system to find out how many of each bill she has. She has 14 bills. X plus Y is 14. $1 bills, we'll call them X. $5 bills, we'll call them Y. Your second equation, the value of the bills is $30. 1 times X, because that's how much a $1 bill is worth, plus 5 times y, because that's how much a $5 bill is worth. It says their worth is $30. So we have two equations that stack nice and neat. X is on top of x's, y is on top of y's, constants on top of constants. We do not have opposite coefficients, though. In order to do that, we want to make this 1 into negative, to where we have positive and negative 1. We need to multiply this equation by negative 1. That times this is negative 1x. That times this is negative 1y. And that times this is negative 14. When we combine those two equations now, 1x minus x, they go away. No more x's. 5y minus y, 4y. 30 minus 14, 16. Divide by 4 to get y by itself. Y then is equal to 4. We said a minute ago that y represented how many? Y equals 4. Y represents how many $5 bills she has. So it says to find out how many of each. Right here, y was how many $5 bills. The first equation, we could bring it, we could plug it right back into that one. X plus, instead of y now, 4 equals 14. Get x by itself by subtracting 4 on both of them. X then is equal to 10. X represents $1 bills. How many of each denomination does she have? She has 10 $1 bills and 4 $5 bills. Written as an ordered pair, 10, comma, 4.